Hello everyone, my name is Pranav Manpe and I am doing Masters in Mechanical Engineering, and my research topic is novel fabrication of thin gauge metal sheets by tape casting. A quick story, during my bachelor's, my friend and I went on a bike trip where one of my friend had an accident where he broke his left shoulder entirely. So when we took him to the hospital, doctor said he had to place either a steel plate or a titanium plate to hold his shoulder bone together. So as engineers, we researched about both the plates and found that titanium plate had more benefits. So for this research, I chose to focus on titanium, and tungsten metal intrigued me because of its high melting point. So these are the objectives of my research. I'm going to prepare a thin metal sheet of tungsten and titanium by tape casting. Spark plasma sintering will be done after the tape casting at various temperatures, and to study the effects of sintering and mechanical properties of tungsten and titanium, and to observe the microstructure as well as the physical properties of both the metal sheets. So these are the schematic diagrams of tape casting and spark plasma sintering. Tape casting is a process of manufacturing a thin metal layer onto a flat surface with the help of this metal powder. And spark plasma sintering is nothing but a pulsed current is passed through the metal powder or the sheet metal under high pressure for a short period of time to elevate its mechanical properties. Let's see what it gets, what results we get. These are the mechanical properties found from the previous studies, where you can see tungsten and titanium were sintered at various temperatures. As at 350 degrees Celsius of SPS for tungsten, the tensile strength was 513 megapascal and yield strength was 437 megapascal, and percentage elongation was 35. Similarly, for titanium at 850 degrees Celsius, the tensile strength and yield strength and percentage elongation you can see from the table. Then the microstructure was observed from the previous study. So this in the titanium, you can see alpha and beta colonies are formed, and in tungsten, the yellow and blue arrow indicates that the grain growth was occurred. So when a temperature exceeds a certain level at different level in both these metals, the grain growth is observed. So this was the gap I found, and I wanted to avoid this grain growth. So the relative density was increased after SPS. Ductility of both the metals was also increased. The only positive thing was the thermal conductivity was adequate. Then all the observed results were limiting the application of tungsten in military and aerospace industry, whereas for titanium, the limitation was in biomedical field. So to tackle this problem, it was necessary to find an optimum sintering temperature and to study its effect on tungsten and titanium. So I designed the experiment in such a way that I will first cast the metal sheet of tungsten and titanium by tape casting. Then two-stage sintering will be carried out at 800 degrees Celsius and 1200 degrees Celsius under pressure of 30 MPa and 60 MPa respectively. So the temperature is decided from the previous studies to avoid the grain growth, as I said earlier. Then the study effects of sintering on both the metal. In this experiment, we will study the microstructure using a scanning electron microscope, and mechanical properties such as tensile strength, compressive strength, and ductility will be measured using universal testing machine and mechanical testing machine. Density will be measured by Archimedes principle, and hardness will be measured by Vickers hardness test. So advantages of this experiment were ultra thin and large area and high quality metal sheet can be formed, and hard metals and metals having high melting point can be easily tape casted. In spark plasma sintering, different materials can be sintered, and SPS actually gives uniform sintering. So these are the advantages, and these are the less time consuming process. And disadvantage of this experiment was both processes require heavy machinery, and after tape casting, certain mechanical properties are affected. As a result, a sintering process is must. So in this experiment, we have chosen the spark plasma sintering. And this experiment may be expensive as different tests are involved. So these are the disadvantages of my experiment. And Thank you for your attention, and that's it from my side.